Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Craig Burley and Stevie Nicol. It is the day we've all been waiting for. The 30-man shortlist has been announced for this year's Ballon d'Or, and of course, there will be a new winner this year. Rodri not involved because of his injury. Maybe a couple of years ago, we thought it might be Vinicius Jr., maybe Kylian Mbappe battling it out for this award. Of course, both Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. But according to the bookies, there is certainly one front runner, and that is Ousmane Dembele, of course, so key to the success that PSG had during their season going to win the Champions League. But it's Lamine Yamal that the bookies reckon could push Dembele all the way. Of course, the teenage sensation, just incredible this season for both Barcelona and Spain. According to the bookies, then it's very much a two-horse race. Welcome into the show, Ian Darke and Don Hutchinson. Right, it's a given. Nobody likes individual awards in a team sport. Yes, it's very difficult to compare players who play for better national teams who earn the Club World Cup, blah, blah, blah. We've been there, we've done it. We've been there. This is not an excuse to get on a soapbox.
Well, you're on it.
No, I'm not on it because I am nipping it in the bud before we get to it, and we can just get names and we can get on with it. Don, who would you vote for?
Dembele. Best player in the world.
There we are. Perfect. All right, Ian Darke.
I think you've got to say Dembele because Paris Saint-Germain won the Champions League so impressively, and he was at the heartbeat of that.
Bit longer, boys.
Nicol.
Dembele.
Dembele as well?
Yeah.
No case for Lamine Yamal?
No, not at all. I think it's pretty clear. I think the only argument is some of the names that are actually on the list.
Well, they had to make 30, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
you
it.
can tell.
First Scottish player for 38 years, Stephen.
First for 38 years, Scott McTominay. That's fantastic.
I mean, obviously he's not going to come close to winning it. But how fantastic is that? Put out by Man United, goes to Napoli, wins the Scudetto, is loved by the Napoli fans and has just done a great job. So fantastic for him.
Why are you pulling a face?
I didn't see this coming.
But it is, isn't it?
No, it is.
I mean, he was a big part player.
Scott McTominay love him.
No, he was a big part player at Man United.
He's caught me by surprise.
Yeah. But is the story not more? Forgive me. It's the story not more. Dembele, who of course went from Borussia Dortmund to Barcelona for such a big amount of money, and then was pretty much a big part player.
I disagree. I disagree.
Goes to
All right,
PSG.
look at this.
Yes, I don't know why.
Let's just drill over Scott McTominay for a couple of minutes.
But this is quite something from Dembele, isn't it?
You and I, it is. And he had a terrific second half of the season in particular. We should remember that. The first half of the season, PSG were not that great. The second half of the season, they were outstanding. Yes, he's got more goals than Lamine Yamal, but we watched La Liga every week. You and I sit in this studio, and what we saw, when the guys say it's not even close, I just disagree with that. And I'm taking nothing away, but for me, it's the young Spaniard just ahead of him. But I don't have an issue with that. Scott McTominay for.
So because of that,
I thought you were giving me.
You thought I was giving you
I can only see two fingers.
What?
and because of what you've just said about Dembele is another reason why Dembele deserves it as well. Listen, I've been one of those guys who have sat here for years and went, "What's this guy Dembele's kidding everybody on?"
Mm-hmm.
He produces something, all of a sudden disappears.
But because
and
he's came good,
before you get rid of him,
doesn't detract from because he's came good. Doesn't detract from what this youngster has done.
No, I don't disagree. He's fantastic, and if it went to Yamal, then it'd be tough to argue. You know, quite frankly, you might be right. He might be the best player on the planet, but the award is about that particular time. A 12-month period.
Right.
And over that 12-month period,
where's he going?
Dembele's been the best.
Yes, but Lamine Yamal hasn't really. This is kind of his first full season. This is the 12-month period we're judging him on, and you've just said that he's the best player in the world.
No, I said you couldn't argue that he may be the best player in the world.
Right.
But this is not about the best player on the planet. This is about a period of 12 months.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why Dembele deserves it, along with the story of how bad he was and how many managers who must have driven mental. Have you got something wrong with your eye?
I'm just intrigued.
He keeps going like,
What you're saying is that Dembele has been the best player in the last 12 months.
I never said that.
Right. So you're saying Lamine Yamal has been the best player in the last 12 months?
I think what we're going down here is a rabbit hole. We'd call this is a rabbit hole.
I thought you were going to say
I'm going to turn this way. Let me know when it's done.
Just explain.
Yeah, I think over the last 12 months,
Right.
his body of work is better than Yamal's.
So Dembele's been the best player of the last 12 months?
His body of work over the last 12 months.
Why can't you just say he's the best player? Why do you have to say body of work?
Well, why do I have to say that? Just
Because
to
this is what
satisfy
it's about. This is what this award is about. The best player of the last 12 months. Who is it?
Dembele.
Right, OK. Right, we got there.
I told you that 5 minutes ago.
Yes, but then you started going on that you could say Lamine Yamal.
I was talking about the story. He was talking about the story of McTominay, and I'm talking about the story of Dembele.
They're, you know, without wasting any more time, they are both great stories. One from a guy who, in Spain, is now just a superstar, and he's turned 18, and we're going to get a good front seat about how he handles the pressure, which he has done brilliantly up to now. And the other one, you're absolutely right, Steve, is a story of inconsistency and issues, and being shown the door at Barcelona, and he was all that sort of stuff, to an absolutely brilliant period in his home country at PSG. I don't really have an issue either way. Both of them were absolutely fantastic.
I think one good thing, I think almost inevitably will happen this year, which of course did happen last year, was the fact that whoever doesn't win it won't throw their toys out the pram. Yeah. We won't see a big protest, indeed. If it goes Lamine Yamal or Dembele, we won't see...
Well, there's no point in Real Madrid even thinking about turning up, because they're going to win sod all again.
Very much so. Where do you stand on the argument of Lamine Yamal, Ian?
Well, I think if you're talking about a player who gets you out of your seat, Lamine Yamal is your man. I mean, he's been phenomenal, hasn't he? And we all love watching him. But I agree with what Stevie says. We're talking about the Ballon d'Or for this year. And in this year, I think it's Dembele's award, and he will deserve it. And I think he will win it as well. But you know something about Lamine Yamal? He could be like Messi. He could win 7 or 8 of these things before he's through.
Well, he'll win 9 if he wins this one. And by the way, Ian, we're dressing up in this show now. You know,
I know,
so
Ian. Have you come from a council meeting? What's going on?
Well, look at Stevie.
Well, exactly. That is not a gauge.
I turn up on this show and you're all dressed
quite sure how to take that
every week, and now because I'm wearing a tie, you've decided to go into the smart casual mode, Craig.
But there you go. Just a spike.
I'm just doing the opposite.
I'll take the tie off. No,
yeah,
I'll take the tie off.
Yeah, there you go. On the button. Take the jacket up.
It wasn't, of course,
just
the shortlist for the men's Ballon d'Or that was announced. It's a women's Ballon d'Or as well, which we announced at the same ceremony, of course. Long list of 30 players. Marta, of course, maintains her place among the best in the world. She was so brilliant, wasn't she? For Brazil, just a couple of weeks ago in that final against Colombia. Very much an argument for her to once again be named Ballon d'Or.